This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
It's because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I think that's taking it to another level.
Yeah. Log on and join our live conversation.
He said this as we were coming on TV.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, July 10th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about. Right now, I'm here with Erica and Brandon. I'm Jeff. The usual suspects are all here.
I thought we were going to start the show off of Erica singing.
Welcome to DBL.
Hey, that girl good. That girl good.
Good and terrible.
There we go.
That was pretty terrible. I don't even blame you. It was pretty terrible. Okay.
That was a movie line. I'm just doing a movie line. All right, tonight. That's the one. Tonight, Beyonce is dominating the headlines for bringing her daughter, Blue Ivy, to the Lion King premiere, but she also has a surprise for us. Trust me, you guys don't want to miss that. It's coming up. But first, we have new details on disgraced TV host Matt Lauer. His wife, Annette Roque, has officially filed for divorce after 20 years of marriage. That's according to the New York State Unified Court System. If you remember, Lauer was fired after multiple allegations of sexual misconduct. As for the divorce, People reports it has all been settled, with Annette getting up to $20 million in assets.
Yeah.
Think that's a good deal?
Well, I think...
Depending on who's asking.
I think her settling or taking a settlement is probably the most logical answer because his earning potential has decreased a little bit.
A little bit.
Plus, you know, here's the thing. It's not about the money, but anytime you have a situation like this where someone is your spouse and you're consistently publicly embarrassing them, that's just like there's no amount of money that makes up for that.
Yeah, his net worth was $60 million though, so this isn't even half.
So what about the three kids? Does he have to pay any child support on that or anything, or is just take the 20?
I don't know the details.
Okay.
She just filed for a divorce today, so I'm guessing it's not too combative, I would say, if the deal's already on the table and she just filed for divorce. Does that make sense?
I think the heart's been out of this situation for quite some time, so this is all about what's best in the head.
She filed for divorce back in 2006, but she withdrew the court papers 3 weeks after.
Right,
so, yeah, that
because he was America's dad, and that was the image, so...
I think you hit it on the head with the earning potential, though.
Yeah.
That's a big one. All right, guys, we've spotted Meghan Markle out and about with baby Archie. There she is. The Duchess took the 2-month-old to Prince Harry's polo match today, and Kate Middleton was also there with her 3 kids. But tonight, Meghan is under fire for asking people not to take photos of her at the Wimbledon tennis tournament. Oscar-winning actress Tatum O'Neal calls it tacky. Let's listen.
You're now one of the people. You're a royal. You are not an actor or a, you know, to have a bodyguard muscle somebody out. I just think is so tacky.
Tacky like Tatum O'Neal, because she would know tacky.
Ooh. Whoa.
Get her. No, go ahead. Go all the way in on
No,
this.
I'm kind of with Erica on this one. I mean, can a person have a day off? I get the other side of the argument that
they pay her salary, not salary, but the taxes that they pay is what
supports her lifestyle.
And they're paying for the box.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
I get that. But can't you just go watch your friend play tennis without pictures? And obviously, people didn't abide by that because we got that picture, right?
Right. Yeah, I have a problem with this for a couple different reasons. Everybody acts like Meghan was rescued out of some destitute situation. She was a very successful actress and had her own. So it's not as though she came out of the gutter. The other thing is, she's on maternity leave. Apparently, she's the only woman that other women won't champion for to honor their maternity leave. And finally, she can have a day off, and she should be able to do that on her own. If she were able to go on her own to Wimbledon and pay for her own ticket and there wasn't a national security crisis, I'm pretty sure she would have done that over standing there like a prop asking people not to take photos of her.
Yeah.
Erica, let me ask you, when does this situation get too big? Do you think that, because like you said, she was okay before Harry, Charles, whichever one we're talking about. But when does this get too much to her and maybe she wants to walk away from this?
Hopefully that doesn't happen because she was a little bit older, so she had a greater sense of self, but also because she had a greater sense of self and had already come into her own, that's got to be a really difficult position to be in. When she was first announced that she was marrying Harry, I think I was the only one in the group that was like, I do not envy her position because I've fought really hard to become the woman that I am. And if someone, especially an entire country, is coming down on me, telling me what I can and cannot do after 38 years of, doing what I want.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
She's got a tough road, I think.
Yes, she does.
Everything she does is going to be scrutinized, kind of like this. I kind of feel for her in this situation.
Tatum O'Neal. Girl, bye.
Bad News Bears. Or is it Good News Bears? Either way.
For Tatum O'Neal?
It's the Bad News Bears.
It's always bad.
Oh, set you up for that one. All right, it's all about girl power in the new Terminator movie. Actress Mackenzie Davis is continuing the franchise's tradition of strong women. Here's a sneak peek at Terminator: Dark Fate.
And home has been found. I'm not stopping.
The movie's director Tim Miller weighed in saying, get this, if you're at all enlightened, she'll play like gangbusters. If you're a closet misogynist, she'll scare the bleep out of you because she's tough and strong but very feminine, and that frightens some dudes. Are men intimidated by successful and powerful women, Brandon London?
Some. I can say some, because if you see a woman that's successful and she knows her worth, she knows who she is, most guys, they won't even approach her. I've seen that with friends or whatever. But there are some guys who absolutely love that. I absolutely love a woman who knows herself, who's strong, and if I'm slacking, she sit there and she'll tell me, that sort of give you a kick in the butt if you need to. And I don't understand why some men get so insecure when it comes to that. I've never understood that.
Well, one, I think this is someone trying to sell a movie during the very empowering Me Too and Time's Up.
That's a great
Because Linda Carter was no wuss, okay? And she was a big star in the original Terminators. However, I do think that when you're talking about what men can handle and what they can't handle, it takes a strong person to handle a strong person. Either way. So regardless of the gender, if you don't know who you are, then how are you supposed to accept someone for knowing who they are? And that's where I think the disconnect comes, because men are told to present as strong. Women have to a little bit more work to be considered strong. So by the time you see a strong woman, like, she's for real strong.
But how come a lot of the times you see a strong woman with a beta male instead of an alpha male?
I don't have that issue. I don't know. I guess.
But you know what I'm saying, Jeff? Like, usually when you see a strong woman, independent woman, it's with a male that we'd kind of be like, oh, he's not an alpha male.
And I don't know, I'm just guessing. Maybe it's a control thing. Maybe you like to always be in type. If you're that dominant and stuff, sometimes it takes a yin to your yang.
It's two strong personalities.
Or sometimes you need someone who's able to, what was it, the planter and the the plant and the gardener?
Everybody needs a good gardener.
Yeah.
I don't know if that.
There's a plant and a gardener.
Daytime TV.
Yeah.
And the gardener
Maybe it's that.
TV.
Sneaks in. I don't know what happened after that. All right.
Gangbusters.
We've got to talk about Kourtney Kardashian. She's opening up about turning 40. She celebrated her birthday back in April, but leading up to it was very hard for her. Let's watch.
I feel like I want to cry.
Why?
Just because it's like, it gives me anxiety. I have so much, and I should just be so happy.
But you're not happy?
I mean, I am, but then sometimes I'm just like, it makes you really like analyze just like where you're at. And then I'm like, sometimes like, what am I doing?
Interesting, because of where she's at, I would think, is on top from the outside looking in. From the inside looking out, I get that it's mental. It's mental for her. I think she accomplished a lot of her goals. She is on top of the world. Everybody knows her. But mentally, maybe she's not happy with some of the other goals she's had in her life. I don't immediately want to knock her down for saying this.
But is she on top as an individual? I think that's where it kind of comes in, especially if you weren't in every part of how you got there, like, for instance, kids who, parents are really rich, or, you end up in the situation, then there is a disconnect. So I can understand her feeling like, okay, I'm 40, I'm taking inventory of my life. Also, I felt like when I was at my lowest and I was bankrupt and trying to figure out where I was going to live, I didn't have time to get as anxious and anxiety ridden because I was thinking from day to day. When you have that type of lifestyle where you're not worried about survival, then you take an inventory of your life probably on a minute by minute basis. Like, you should be doing more. So I can't understand her because I'm not at that level, but I can understand that mentality.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. To me, every day is a blessing. And then, like you said, there was a time in your life where you hit a low point, and anything after that, you're just appreciative after that when you get out of that. So to me, I'm looking forward to see who the person I am at 40. But I can see why you would want to look back and be like, hey, my body doesn't move like it did when I played professional football. I don't look the way I looked back when I was in my 20s and 30s. So I feel as though, I know she's getting a lot of shame, but I feel as though it's okay for someone to look back when they're at 40 and reminisce and think of the good times. But at the same time, life continues to get better.
Yeah, reflection's always a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
All right, guys, Forbes is out with a new list of the highest paid celebrities, and you won't believe who's number one.
Brandon
Let's get
London.
up to Raquel Vina Wade with news at the moment.
Well, Brandon, you need to calm down. That's actually my hint, because are you ready for it? Singer Taylor Swift is the highest paid celebrity so far this year, thanks to her hit songs. Forbes says she made $185 million last year, and she only earned $80 million the year before. T-Swift beat out Kylie Jenner, even though she is the youngest self-made billionaire ever. Now, rounding out the top 5 are Kanye West, soccer player Lionel Messi, and singer Ed Sheeran. And Taylor might be on the list next year. Her new album is out this summer.
Thanks, Raquel. That's surprising. I thought Kylie would be above her for some reason. I don't know, just because of the product line, the TV show, and all the endorsements.
I just wonder when Kylie made the bulk of her money, because if it's in the fiscal year, then I could see somebody usurping.
And she toured this year, Taylor, so that's probably got to be the bulk of the money. But Kanye, where's his from? His clothing line? He hasn't
clothing, the Yeezys, and they're talking about his music. Kanye does a lot. Kanye does a lot.
Interesting list.
I forgot. I read this morning, but I'll get it during the break.
Speaking of that, we got a little story about Kanye. Oh, actually, we don't, because we never got to it. All right, we'll talk about it in the break. DBL is live, and coming up after a quick break, we have your first listen of Beyonce's new song from the Lion King soundtrack, and it's got a very familiar sound. And speaking of divas, Barbra Streisand lit up the stage across the pond, but you'll never guess the VIPs who are in the audience. What Up Wednesday is next. I thought we had the Kanye story coming up in the break. Sometimes after you're on TV for 4.5 hours, you get a little confused.
A little.
But this one, so Kanye built some housing units for homeless people, and we don't have any visuals for you, but they're supposed to look like Luke Skywalker's house and houses from Star Wars. So almost, I guess if you want a visual, it looks like an igloo type thing.
Yeah, like a dome.
Yeah. Right, but with a futuristic vibe to it. Is that kind of painting a picture for you guys? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, but the thing is, so people are criticizing him because it's a very aesthetically interesting structure, and they're saying that somehow it takes away from people's dignity.
I don't know. I don't see the downside to this.
Because here's the thing. So you're being thought of and considered. So I feel like anyone who comes up with a solution for someone who doesn't have shelter should be at least like even if they're not praised for it, they shouldn't be criticized for it.
And if you ever drove by some kind of area in your neighborhood or anything, I'm speaking mostly of like Skid Row in LA when I drive by there because it's next to the fashion district. I mean, they set up camp there. It's a camp. They have tents. It's not aesthetically pleasing at all. You feel really terrible for these people on the street. It's crazy. So I think having a community, instead of tents and all this stuff, having a community of houses like this, that kind of, I guess, what do you call those? They kind of fold out. They kind of, you know what I mean? They're easy to put up. Yeah, pop-up. That's what I was. So they're kind of pop-ups. That's aesthetically pleasing, and it gives them some place to live and maybe a little dignity. My thing is, like, if George Lucas did it, we'd be like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Right?
And another thing, if you look at the video, it's out in the middle of nowhere. So it's like setting them up with their own community. People will be the first to complain I saw a video. They took Forbes.
Oh,
out
so
there.
it's going to be somewhere
Yeah,
else?
it's going to be somewhere. It's not going to be like in
Oh,
the
okay, I didn't
downtown
know that.
area or anything. And people get so mad because, you know, homelessness is overpopulated in some cities. Now this brings them out and gives them their own community.
Either way.
Welcome back to DBL. It's What Up Wednesday, and we've got all the juicy gossip that everyone is talking about. So let's head on over to our What Up world map, where our first stop is London, where Barbra Streisand just performed. But guess which special guests were in the audience? No one other than her 3 prize poodles, of course. That's right, the singer flew her dogs 10,000 miles round trip just to watch her concert. And Babs spared no expense either. These dogs flew VIP in a custom buggy. Now, here's what's up. This is the same woman that cloned 2 of those 3 dogs. So is this really that surprising? I mean, Babs, I let this slide, but only because you gave us My Heart Belongs to Me. This is pure weird, babe. And our next stop is California, where Lisa Vanderpump is officially no longer a housewife of Beverly Hills. Yeah, that's right, season 9 was Vanderpump's last, and the finale aired last night. The 58-year-old posted a strange farewell video on Instagram. Yep, it included music that I'm pretty sure came from an 80s adult film. Plus, the video reads, "The pump has left the building." Oh boy. Here's what's up. I mean, I think Lisa's onto something. I mean, everything's better with some saucy music, right? Do you see what I mean? Or does this just kind of sound like it's for a funeral or something? I don't know. R.I.P. Lisa, babes. On to the next one. Anyway, our last stop is Sweden. One of Brandon's girlfriends lives there, where rapper A$AP Rocky is behind bars on an assault charge. Now, if you don't know A$AP Rocky, you're gonna know his famous friends. Celebs like Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes, and Jada Pinkett Smith are demanding that the 30-year-old be released. Now, that's because Rocky and his team claim this was self-defense and not assault. Right, here's what's up. I wonder, are the jails in Sweden just like IKEA showrooms? I mean, maybe for dinner he's getting served meatballs and gravy too. What do you reckon? But seriously, the rapper was on tour when this happened, so hopefully he gets out ASAP so his fans can get to rocking. Yeah, that's pretty bad, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, that was another edition of What Up Wednesday, and we'll be right back.
The sun.
Hey Beauty Blasters, it's Wednesday and that means we're talking some beauty gossip. Yes, queen. Now I have all the hottest beauty tips, tricks, and some of the gossip that's going on in Hollywood, so let's get started now. Now, first up that's happening lately is John Legend released a song about skincare. Can you believe it? Because I couldn't. Now, after I remembered who his wife is, Chrissy Teigen. She is amazing. Her skin is beautiful. She's known for fabulous looks. So you have to think, some of that had to rub off on John, right? Well, it rubbed off so much that he had to make a whole song about his love for a certain product called Patera. That's actually the song's name too, Patera. Say it with me, Patera. It's so cute, right? Now this song is about his love for the essence from SK2, a serum, if you may, that helps to hydrate, brighten, and do a little bit of everything for your skin. It's really wonderful. But even on the launch of this song, he even included his good friend, James Corden, to make sure that he had a couple of extra funny bits in the video. Pop Sugar actually met up with John Legend himself and asked what are some of his beauty tips and secrets. So, you know, I had to dig up on that and see what all of them were. The first one was to make sure that you have a multi-step skincare routine. Ooh, John Legend, you just won my heart over, honey. This is the truth, guys. You have to have a multi-step skincare routine to make sure that you're really servicing your skin and all the layers that we have. So that's cleansing, exfoliating, a toner, a moisturizer, a little eye cream, a serum. Make sure you got your steps in order and take care of the skin you're in. Now, the second one for him was a big bathroom. I don't think that's just about for everyone. That might not be feasible for everybody, but I do agree that you should have 2 separate spaces for your beauty needs. For his and his, hers and hers, theirs and theirs, whatever it is gonna be, go ahead and have some of that. All right, guys, now for more of his exclusive
Welcome back to DBL. I'm so excited for this movie. That was a clip from the new Lion King, which hits theaters next Friday. And stars were out last night for the world premiere, and critics are calling the animated remake a masterpiece and visual experience. I can't wait. I've been pumping this up for months. I've been talking about it for months. This is the first time I'm going to bring my oldest son, Lawson, to the theater. So we'll see how it goes. But all the ads are out now and stuff. So every time it comes on, I'm like, Lawson, Lion King's on. And the other day he came whipping around the corner with a piece of cheese in his hand and just stepped on one of his toys, a little airplane, and wiped out and started crying. I'm like, no, we're still gonna have fun at the Lion King. The toy was on the ground. It was just a toy.
I want to make a bold prediction. I think this movie beats out Avengers Endgame in terms of box office sales.
Really?
That's a bold prediction, but I mean, you see the trailer, you see the stars that's involved. I think this is going to be a huge hit.
I think so too, but those are big numbers.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a blockbuster, or it's 4 quadrants, so young, old, male, female. Yep. I think it really has a chance.
Do you have to pay for Lawson's ticket, or does he get in?
Yeah, if I have to pay $400 for him to get on an airplane, I think I have to pay for him to get in the theater.
Bam, there's money sales. There's money sales.
Let's get over to our resident fashionista, Stephanie Jones, for all of last night's look. Steph.
That's right, the celebrities hit the red carpet for the world premiere in LA, and they didn't disappoint, especially the lads. Donald Glover, who voices Simba, rocked Gucci, and he looked very 70s. And Seth Rogen voices Pumbaa, and he also kept it retro in Prada. Eric Andre, who voices one of the hyenas, went for it last night in all pink. I love it. But we can't forget the ladies. Beyonce, who voices Nala, wore a diamond-covered custom Alexander McQueen and brought her daughter Blue a matching skirt. They look so cute. And Destiny's Child was in the house. Michelle Williams stunned in this mirror gown, and Kelly Rowland nailed the theme with a zebra print dress. But I've got to say, Kelly, if there was any other red carpet, that would have been a miss. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Steph. And speaking of Beyonce, she's not the only star in the film, but she not only stars in the film, but she also dropped a brand new song for the soundtrack. Let's take a listen. And Beyonce produced the entire album featuring multiple artists, of course, and that comes out July 19th.
What's your favorite movie soundtrack?
Oh, I don't know. I think The Gladiator is the first one that pops in my head. I always wanted to get married to that theme song, to The Gladiator, like the slow one. Yes. Huh?
Oh, okay.
I always wanted my wedding song to include that, and then we went to the courthouse, so it didn't.
Jay-Z, American Gangster. Remember he did the entire album for that?
Mine is similar to one person doing the entire album. Waiting to Exhale is the best.
Whitney Houston.
But you know who did it? Who? Babyface.
Oh, really?
Babyface.
That is one of the best albums of all time.
That's a good question. Now I'm going to be thinking about that on my ride home. Like, was that a good answer?
DBL take. DBL take that one. DBL right in. Right in, DBL.
All right, guys. Think about it. We'll be right back.
Right in.
Promotional content.
I am Patty Donnelly, and I am the Senior Supervising Producer at Daily Blast Live. I manage the show and the staff, and I oversee creative and help pick the stories. You know, and I also help by just using my past experience to better produce pieces and content on the show. A typical day at DBL for me starts at 6:30 in the morning, and that is super early. So it generally starts with me hitting snooze 4 times and then going to Starbucks and then rolling in at 6:30 on the dot. Whew, it's hard. And in the morning when we come in is my first meeting of the day. It's at 6:30 and it's the creative content meeting, and it's with just 4 other producers and then Chris Clark, the executive producer of the show. and myself. And basically we hear what stories are going on, what has been happening overnight, what the news is, and we start planning the show and what we're gonna put in it and what stories we care about. It's actually my favorite time of the day. It's really fun and it's my favorite thing ever, which kind of sucks that it's like in the morning because after that, then there's nothing to look forward to, but I love that meeting. Since it's such a small group, we laugh a lot and tell a lot of jokes and just come up with some really great ideas because of it, and it's really awesome. What I like best about working at DBL as opposed to other shows is that we have a really cool culture here, and it is a lot different from when I worked in LA, meaning we put the show above, you know, we care about the show, we want the show to do well, but we don't put it above ourselves. And that's something that a lot of times in LA, you sacrifice a lot to make sure the show is awesome. And here we, I think, almost have our priorities in balance a little more, and we laugh a little bit more because of it.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments.
Yes,
Brendan London, you want it?
we do as soon as they come in.
How about that shot Stephanie Jones gave you?
You know, it's just here. And then Raquel threw a little shot in there, but it went with what, what she was doing, so that was a great job. Okay, here we go. Let's get to these comments. Eileen Marsh from Facebook. Erica, I love listening to you. You always make me look at things at a whole different perspective.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes that perspective is crazy, but we can be crazy together, girl.
Yeah, Aileen, you got a little something on your nose there, too. Sherry Stutzman says, she's royal. Go with the flow or get out. All right, talking about Meghan Markle.
Yeah, get out is a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother thing.
I like it. Happy Hump Day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.